Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for spending part of your valuable time with us today, where we're gonna discuss and explore how the joint forces of public, private, and university and academic sectors to foster innovation globally. So we're gonna achieve this through a rich discussion with our esteemed panelists. Before getting started, I would like to get some time to introduce our esteemed panelists. We have Dr. Abdurrahman Al-Layli, the Vice President for Graduate Studies and Scientific Research at King Faisal University. And actually, King Faisal University is one of the recognized universities in research in agricultural science. We have also Dr. Maha Al-Juhani, the Director for Partnership in Research and Innovation in the Ministry of Water, Environment and Agriculture in Saudi Arabia. And also we have Dr. Gambiru Menza, Senior Manager and Partner Senior Manager for Partnership, Innovative Finance in CGR. And CGR is the world's largest global agriculture innovation network. So, welcome everyone. I would like to start with Dr. Maha. So Dr. Maha, how does collaboration across public, private, and academic sector foster innovation and sustainability?
So first of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Nasser, for your nice introduction. And I would like to give a brief overview about what we do at MIWA. So in a ministerial level, we try to take it seriously regarding the water and food from scarcity to sustainability. So to propel research and innovation in the environment and water agriculture sectors, first we start by steering the ecosystem, by discovering new technologies and opportunities, through and exploiting this targeting specialist community and companies that enhances the linkages. And of course, we cannot deny that there is a problematic issue regarding the partnership between the public and private partnerships when it comes to IP protection and innovation. So as a solution, we thought maybe we could use the sandboxing strategy. That was the best way to handle this kind of partnerships. We support the development and deployment of technologies through a regulatory sandbox. Also, we try to implementing and localizing these kind of technologies to increase the responsive of demand through leveraging these technologies and securing fund and trying to engage the stakeholders and for innovation and to foster a culture of innovation. Also, I would like to mention, last but not least, as we want to attract capital and create market for to help startups to scale up. Thus, we create a market through demand-side tools, like we have Sidra, Sumbula, and Sahaba accelerators that help us to scale up those kind of startups. This is like what I would like to summarize.
Dr. Gambiru, can you take us through the importance and the crucial part of research centers in those kinds of collaborations?
Thank you, Nasser. And before I go into the answer, I would like also to thank you for the opportunity, for being here, for hosting this important event, and acknowledge the Research, Development and Innovation Authority and the Minister of Environment, Water and Agriculture in Saudi Arabia for the invitation for having organized the Sustainability Innovation Week. So when it comes to the role of CGIAR, as you know, the CGIAR is the largest research and development organization in agriculture. We operate in more than 80 countries, and we have more than 9,000 scientists working on the ground with smallholder farmers and supporting governments to develop science-based innovations, agricultural practices, policies, and we work with many partners in order for us to design and deliver these solutions. And among our partners, we have the private sector. Private sector is increasingly coming to knock our doors to look for solutions for the increasing number of challenges they are facing, when it comes to agricultural sector. So, from my experience, what I noticed is that since I've basically probably 10 years or so, a bit less, the landscape has evolved, moving from having large agri-food companies investing a lot in their research and development unit, from working more closely with university and research centers. And they are doing it through this mechanism called open innovation, right? They tend to strike a collaboration with institutions like CGIAR or other research centers on the ground, with the scope of cherry picking, solutions that are, they are of their interest, rather than developing solutions in their R&D unit. So there is a close tie for collaboration between these two entities nowadays. It's important also for organizations like us to listen to what the market needs, what the industry needs. It's also a way to align market expectation or market needs with the research that institutions like CGIAR and other global research institutions are working on. So, but there is a problem, right, when it comes to aligning expectation, because sometimes you work from the public perspective, right, with the private sector, how to align interests. And there's also an issue of like, how do an organization, a public fund organization, then transfer technologies that have eventually been funded by taxpayer, right, and public funded. So there's also an issue, and we are learning a lot on how to better valorize, and connect and transfer these solutions to market, and ensure that this solution can actually receive the support needed to translate, I research the idea into a solution that can benefit people on the ground.
Amazing, amazing. And I'm glad you mentioned that those kinds of challenges, because I want to touch on it with Dr. Abdurrahman. Usually there are some kinds of challenges that happen regarding, for example, understanding the rules of each sector. So can you take us, also we want you also to give us the perspective of academia, and moreover, if you can also tell us about how to utilize the strength of each one of those sectors to make a better progress for innovation, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. One day I was at the library, and I saw a book, huge book, and it's about how to understand academia. So I took the book, and then I opened the book, and nothing was written in it. So it's really difficult to understand academia. But how do people see academia? People see academia as a provider of knowledge, a provider of research. And I think academia, this is a really, really conventional way of seeing academia. Academia nowadays is more than just research. And now we can, for example, what we can offer to the public and private sector is, for example, we can go beyond research. We can train their employees. We can also incorporate sustainability subjects into our curricula in preparation for the future and the future leaders of sustainability. We can raise public awareness about sustainability. We can run campaigns. We can organize hackathons or startups or university companies nowadays. So what I'm trying to say is that we can offer different ways and different activities to engage in sustainability in the private and public sector, not just research. So this is the first one. The first one is diverse activities we can engage in with the private and public sector and their mission with sustainability. And the second thing is that, which is really unique perspective, and something we've done it actually in King Faisal University, because in King Faisal University we have an institutional identity about sustainability and food security. This is what we do. We wake up, go to bed, talk about sustainability all the time. Some people are really sick of it even. So this is what we do. We do research, activities, funding, everything about sustainability. But what's unique, and I will conclude with this point, is that we don't just study sustainability from a scientific perspective. Our colleagues from the College of Islamic Studies, they contribute. Our colleagues from the College of Law, they contribute. Every subject in our university contributes to this field. For example, we have a colleague who studied sustainability from a law perspective, another one from a religious perspective, and which is fascinating. And this is something, my question always, like, what makes academia different? Employing researchers? The private and public sectors do employ researchers. And we have researchers. So actually the private and public sector can produce research as much as we do. But what they can't do is to produce research on every single aspect of sustainability. Normally, like when you talk about the Ministry of Agriculture, they talk about it from a scientific perspective mainly. But we can contribute from seeing it from a comprehensive perspective.
Yeah, that's actually amazing. And I'm glad you've mentioned that you've covering all the disciplines, and also Dr. Maha. Dr. Abdurrahman has explained to us the academia efforts, starting from research until moving the innovation towards development and beyond that. I would like you to talk a little bit about the governmental efforts in that manner. How can we fill the gap in the innovation journey after the academia? What is the part of the government?
So, so in a ministerial level, we're trying to engage the stakeholders more by compacting resources and expertise and facilitate regular dialogues between the private and public sectors. A good example and a good initiative that we have already started is the Saudi Agri-Food Tech Alliance. This initiative will brings academics and industry professionals together to foster collaboration and for knowledge exchange, and also we'll bring together the policy advocacy that supports sustainability and innovation. And another initiative, hopefully, that also will be successful is the Water Alliance and the Water Innovation Strips. Hopefully will organically grow and serve the goals to help leverage the strength of water sector and help us to achieve our main goals for taking water and food from scarcity to sustainability.
Amazing, amazing. Dr. Gambiro, Dr. Abdurrahman and Dr. Maha has explained to us the efforts from an academia perspective and the government perspective. We would like to hear from you, from your experience in CGR, the role of private sector to fill the gap between creating knowledge, research, and also the development parts, and the governmental initiatives.
Yeah.
So usually there is a place for private sector to play in this. So please.
Thank you. I mean, I understand, and that's an important question. CGIAR, as mentioned before, is the Global Agricultural Research Partnership, and it's a public-funded organization. And I want to step back here to explain a bit of maybe the problems, that sometimes our innovators and scientists are facing when they need to translate scientific discoveries into a solution, a product that can go to market. We often think that scientists have all the solutions, but or they have access to all the knowledge or expertise, but it's not always the case. Scientists are of course, develop solutions, but sometimes the lack of market access or capital to the risk, the technological development of the innovations, or they also eventually lack the skills, the entrepreneurial skills that then they need to bring the solutions to market. In our case, in CGIAR, and we designed and launched a program called Accelerate for Impact Platform. And this is basically the venture space that is aiming to bridge science with market. So we do it by organizing a number of activities. Let me briefly mention a couple of them. One is called Research and Market Pathways, or RAMP. So the idea is really to help scientists to elevate their work, and make sure that they fully understand the potential that is in their solutions. Mm-hmm. We bring them to a level that can then be able to present and pitch their solutions to industry players or investors. So we make them understand the potential. We support them in identifying eventual gaps they have in their product development, and we fill the gaps with external expertise that can help them to fully develop the concept and the solutions. And then we connect to industry players or investors. And this is something that we have just launched, and this is something new for our organization, because this is a way for better valorizing research outcome emerging from the investments that we are making in research programs and projects. Another approach that we have is this agri-tech for Kenya or agri-tech for Egypt. So we have country-specific projects that are aiming to bring together innovators from different parts of the world to address context-specific problems. Let's say we want to identify and bring new solutions to market that can better connect smallholder farmers to market. What are the best solutions available at the global level and at the country level that can be deployed? So we design and launch the call for innovation together with local partners. This allows us to have an important buy-in from actors on the ground, identify partners from the industry, and we have somehow secured also the collaboration between the industry and the startup. So once the program is designed, we launch the call, and this happens now in Egypt or Kenya, where we are currently operating. And for instance, in the case of Egypt, we have received something like 800 applications. Out of the 800 applications, we then select only 25 solutions that are invited to come in person to a boot camp where we really understand the team dynamics, the solutions. We try to understand how the solutions fit for purpose and response to the actual country needs. And out of the 25 teams, we then move to 15 teams for a fully funded acceleration program that usually lasts between 4 and 6 months. This is a moment where teams need to be extremely dedicated and work with partners to validate their innovations on the ground, and also make sure that they can integrate all the learnings of the acceleration program to be ready to then go back on stage in front of investors and industry partners to explain and demonstrate the progress made in this. So this is a very concrete way, to help countries, to attract innovations, and to create an enabling environment together with partners on the ground. This is giving us a lot of opportunity to also build a pipeline. So we have more than 350 startups profiled at the global level that are in the agri-food tech space, and gives really concrete solutions for countries. So what more than this kind of example, concrete example that can help us to connect academia and market, with and supported by investors.
Amazing, amazing. Dr. Abdurrahman, Dr. Gambiro just mentioned to us an amazing example of utilizing collaboration, and I'm sure a university with the size of King Faisal University had lots of innovation and collaboration and innovation. I would like to hear from you in those kinds of collaboration, what are the challenges and what are the lessons learned from it?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question.
Yeah.
The problem is the way the private and public sectors see us is really not accurate, because also the way we see actually the public and private sector is not accurate as well. So how do people see us? Say they see us as a bank of knowledge. And how do we see them? Is a bank of money.
Okay.
And so the whole collaboration has been reduced into only money and knowledge, which is really a disappointing perspective. I've done research asking people, how do you see the academia or the public and private sector? For example, like some people think the private and public sector see us as we are above them. So we are the bank of knowledge. So they need us. And also, so you guys see us as we are above you, and you think like we have a magical power to solve everything, and you think your expectation from us is so much, something we can't do. And the last thing is, when you give us a problem, we can't address the whole problem. We can just address small, tiny part of the problem. Because we are not, as academics, we are good because we are specialized. And when you bring us to a project, national project, that is massive, we can't address the whole thing. So even when we invite many, many people, they still struggle to build a comprehensive solution to any sustainability problem. So my suggestion is, and this is something maybe my colleagues wouldn't like it, but we need to reimagine the collaboration totally. We're not business. We don't have a business relationship. It's not like you're a client and we provide you with the service. You pay, we provide you with the service. And this is exactly how it is nowadays. But what we want to achieve is a partnership, not only collaboration. And when you talk about partnership, it's not only you give us money. In other words, we don't need your money. We can run. But what we want from you is more than just money. Yeah, so this is what I think. So we need to just have not collaboration, we need a partnership. So when you win, we win. When we win, you win. And you can contribute beyond your capital.
Amazing, amazing. Dr. Maha, we would like to hear also the perspective of government in terms of what are the rules of initiatives that could play in these kinds of collaborations from a governmental perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
So partnership between academia and public sector, it's really essential because our main target now with the Vision 2030 is to transform all the research and innovation from academia and scale it up to the market. So what we do is we try as much as we could to engage, as I mentioned before, with the Agritech Alliance and the Water Alliance, and those kind of initiatives some initiatives, and it's a good effort, and we saw some potentials. Yeah. This kind of collaboration actually led to a couple of successful stories. Maybe I could mention the algae production in Saudi Arabia. So instead of now importing algae, now we're producing algae as feeds for the animals. Besides that, algae can also absorb carbon dioxide and help us to achieve one of the sustainable goals one of the sustainable goals. Other technologies also we tried also to implement is the reverse osmosis technologies that also helped us to reduce the energy consumption by 80%. And definitely there is a lot. We have the talent pool and researchers in Saudi Arabia is huge, and there is lots of potential. And our door is always open for all the academics and researchers. And I don't think it's only us. It's a collaborative effort. And definitely it's always a win-win situation.
Amazing, amazing. So we're squeezed actually in time, so I will close with this question for everyone. Looking forward, in 1 minute, what is the one priority action needed to strengthen collaboration and accelerate sustainability innovation? I'll start with Dr. Abdurrahman.
Yeah, that's a
I know it's a tough question.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to say something that my colleagues wouldn't like. But if you see the private sector, they are so good at problem-based projects. And they're so good at management and project management. These two things are things that we are so bad at in academia. We're not meant to be a problem-based institution. We don't function like this. Because academia is based on the idea of exploration. This is how academia is. Like we employ you as an academic to do anything you want, basically. We don't employ you to address a problem. So we employ you as a professor of sustainability, that's it. So throughout the year, you try to explore this and this and this and this, and hopefully you will come up with something useful. We don't tell you, if you don't come up with something useful, we're not going to pay you your salary. No, you're going to pay me anyway. And this is why it's so difficult to measure the productivity of academics, because they just do anything they want. Hopefully, they will come up with something useful. But the private sector doesn't want this. They want, okay, we have a problem, address it. We will pay you for this. So academia is not trained for this. We're not trained to address problems. We're not we don't have a magical power. Plus, we're not familiar with the idea of projects. This is why when you work with us, you will get disappointed, because we don't have the skill to manage projects. And this is why, when you submit your project to academics, you really struggle. They don't meet the deadlines, they promise you with something they don't deliver, and they tell you that we will do it and they can't do it. They try to just learn from here, from there, to meet up your expectation, because they expect funding from you, and then when they get funding from you, they don't necessarily pay for the same project, but they use it for another project. So we have a problem with project management.
Amazing.
And so what I'm saying is that, and this is something I'm going to conclude with, and this is something, behind the scene, they told me not to say it, but maybe the academic sector and the private sector can't collaborate. And throughout history, this idea has failed so many times. And maybe we need just to accept that there can't be collaboration, because the mentality of academia is different from the mentality of the private sector.
Thank you. Dr. Gambir, please.
Thank you. No, just want to say here that complex problems need complex solutions, and we need to have experts and the multidisciplinarity that is needed in order to develop these solutions, right? And this multidisciplinarity comes from different sectors. They need to all work together. I agree. Cannot just tell the academia, okay, solve this problem. You need to be a collaboration, and you need to make sure that incentive schemes are aligned for both type of institutions and not too confused. But also very important is how do we make sure that and we translate and transfer these solutions from the academia to market, because we need to have a regulatory framework that support this. And sometimes institutions are not ready for this type of collaboration. At the end, organizations like CGIAR can really act as a catalyst, to bring these actors together. This is what we are doing on the ground. And I believe that in terms of creating an enabling environment for addressing problems, all these actors need to be represented also because the future, as I mentioned before, deserve this sort of collaborations and clarity on the way we needs to be worked out. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Actually, we're beyond time, but we'll give you an extra minute from me to Dr. Maha. Please go ahead.
Okay, so to finalize our efforts at MIWA, so maybe one future actions, what we need to do is we're trying to establish a national platform for partnerships to show the outcomes to the public and facilitate collaboration between the stakeholders. Also, maybe another initiatives I would suggest maybe we could start by is the data sharing initiatives. Usually, people are really, what would I say, careful whenever they deal with data and try. Usually, the government sectors, they don't like to share their data. But if we have an initiative like data sharing, that sharing the sustainability-related data and the best practices among the stakeholders, that will enhance the transparency and the accountability for all the sectors. And one final thought, definitely successful innovation demands effective collaboration. So we need the efforts from all the sectors and from all the private and public and academic parties. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing, and thank you very much for that. Just to conclude the discussion, collaboration and partnership is for sure will advance innovation, but the main challenge that we have is that we need to understand the rules of each sector and act accordingly. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for our panelists for their time.